The Meat Puppets, the Refreshments, and the Gin Blossoms, their bands and their unique sound put Tempe on the map in the early 90s, and chances are that the music still brings back some memories for you. And now they are coming to life on the big screen in an independent film called Stuck Outside of Phoenix, being shot right here in the Valley. Where else would you shoot it?
A little bit of Phoenix, a little bit of Mesa.
All right, well, joining me now is the executive producer, Nico, and the lead actor, Brandon, and we want to welcome you to the show. It's awesome to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Fun being here.
Okay, so making this movie, where did this idea come from? How did you guys partner? And I'll let him start, and then I'm going to ask you how you kind of got drawn into this.
It came from the head of Art Edwards, former Refreshments bassist, who wrote the book in the early 2000s, and he had seen my previous movie, Mill Ave Inc., and said, "Hey, Nico, I loved your movie. You recaptured Mill Avenue. Have you read my book?" I said, "Of course I've read your book. Would you make it into a screenplay and make it into a movie?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it."
Okay, and so then how did you connect with Brandon and get him in?
That was Laura Durant, I believe. Durant.com, is that how?
Right.
It was an audition.
There's an audition website out here in Arizona, Durantcom.com, and most of the acting community here, we always go there. That's where we get most of our parts, especially unknowns like myself, who don't have an agent or just kind of getting out into it. And I saw the Stuck Outside of Phoenix posting, and I was like, wow, a grunge movie? In Phoenix and Tempe, like, okay, I'll go.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. Maybe I'll get a hippie role or something. I don't know. I was 7 when this stuff was coming out, and he gets on me for that. But I just had some fun with it and met him, and he wanted me. So I said, okay, I'll do it. Yeah.
That
was about it.
So how far into this are we?
Day 14, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, yesterday was day 14. We have 6 more days to go.
All right, so that's really impressive to me. When we think about films, most of us, it's the big unknown. So you're doing this, you said independently, so that probably requires you to be a little bit more creative in the way you approach things, shooting, you know, and all the other elements of it. Talk about those challenges.
Yeah, flexibility. This is this is a very low budget movie. In fact, we succeeded on the budget by getting Kickstarter. We had a Kickstarter goal that we reached, and Indiegogo. But mostly, it's this movie is it's sort of a project of by and for the community. So we have a lot of restaurants donating to the cause. So that kind of defrays a lot of the costs for the budget.
What I was also reading is that you've actually got the components of kind of the '90s Tempe music scene right in the movie. And I'm really impressed by that. Explain how that kind of plays out.
The components?
Yeah, the music, the the interaction.
Certainly, one of the earliest things I remember Nico telling me is another character in this movie is going to be the music, and you can see that in a lot of the scenes. Some of the scenes, the dialogue seems kind of under, or it's almost flat if you're acting it, and then when you pump the music in over it, it feels like you're there. And this, for all intents and purposes, is a period piece. 1990, 20 years ago, I think that constitutes a period piece. Not in your head, yes?
Yeah, it does. It does.
And so you have
that was another challenge.
We're here.
That was another challenge. You don't think it's a period piece.
Right.
Like in 1992, that was in our lifetime.
Yeah, we're thinking 1800s.
Remember beepers?
Yes.
No cell phones anymore. So, like, as an actor, the mindset, like, oh, you can't get in contact with your band members.
Right.
Easily,
well, unless you had the alphanumeric, because then you were like, big deal,
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, we have
did I just
block
date
cell
myself?
phones.
I think I did.
We have the big block cell phones.
Exactly. Well, tell me about this this concert scene, because there's kind of an interactive component to that.
This one scares the heck out of me. But yeah, 1,000 people, extras, plus little sub scenes going on through that, and we had to shoot it in one night.
In one night.
One night, yes.
Okay.
One night only, folks.
Now, are you still looking for people to be part of that?
Yes, we do need extras.
Okay.
We have about 400 signed on right now, and we'd like to have a full 1,000 people.
So what do you want them to wear, and like where do they go? And I mean that.
Ripped up jeans. I call these Dead Hot Workshop. You didn't wear your Dead Hot Workshop.
I didn't wear my No.
So you got to just pull out all your '90s gear, which, quite frankly, is probably still in my closet if I'm being honest.
You're more than welcome.
So
Show
then
up.
I'm there.
Show up.
So you need, like, I don't know, 300-500 extras.
Yeah.
Wearing all that stuff at Rocky Point Cantina right there. That's in Tempe, and I love that. I love that you really did. You come up with a movie that is based on this scene here in our backyard, and you don't take it somewhere else to shoot it.
Right.
I mean, it has to be here, but yet in so many other scenarios, it could have been shot somewhere else. Why did you decide to stay local?
Well, because I was part of that music scene. We wanted to stay in Tempe, and again, by and for the community. We had to stay here. All those locations are basically still here. You know, Big Fish Pub was still there, Yucca Tap Room, of course, you know, things like that. So we wanted to keep it here. We weren't going to go export ourselves to New Mexico for the tax incentives. You know, that'd be kind of pointless.
Right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Gin Blossoms.
Yes.
In it, part of it.
Cameos and music.
Okay.
We have songs that have not been released yet, that haven't been published.
How'd you do that?
Producer secret.
Producer secret, but I like that. Ancient Chinese secret.
Yes.
Very
yes.
good. So we can look for music that we probably haven't heard before.
Definitely.
That's pretty cool to be part of.
Yeah.
What is your hope for this? Like, as you see it to its completion, you start to promote it. Like, if you had your just best case scenario, what would it be? And I'll ask both of you this question. Where would you like to see it go? What would you like to see it develop into?
I want to see it in Japan.
In Japan.
I want to go to Tokyo and say, hey, that's
Japanese
me.
subtitles?
Yeah,
That could work.
That could work.
Awesome.
We could do that.
How about you?
You know, my supporting cast with Krista Green and Dan Carrigy and Kat Bingham and myself, we're just so happy to be in this film. If people see it in a Harkins theater, which they will.
Oh, they will. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Often. That would be dream come true status for us.
Okay.
That our work is being seen. We're just happy to be a part of a project this big in a town that is not, let's face it, not really recognized for its film scene yet.
Yeah, it's definitely
case
emerging
scenario.
though, for sure. With the Phoenix Film Festival, and I mean, there's a lot of
There are a couple
noteworthy
festivals.
people that are really kind of at least putting some eyeballs on our
Definitely.
city, don't you think?
Definitely, and that would be, like, as an actor for me in the community, that would be best case scenario. If we get more projects like this coming
I'd
to
go.
Tempe, coming to Phoenix.
I'd go to Harkins and watch it.
Well, we certainly hope so. That's the idea.
All right. Well, I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I expect this is going to have just a huge appeal because there's something about the 90s and
Yeah.
that music that just everybody has a memory.
Yeah, what people don't realize is, Tempe, Arizona in the early 90s was one of the 3 or 4 biggest cities in the world for exporting popular music. I mean, we had as many bands that were signed to major labels as Seattle did,
I
And
didn't
people
know
just don't
that.
I
realize
did not know that
Was
either.
Breakfast at Tiffany's, that was local?
Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Were they local?
The movie? Oh,
The band?
Deep Blue something. No,
Is it
and they
Deep-
weren't, no.
That
No,
one.
Jim Blossoms gets confused with Deep Blue something all the
Oh,
time.
okay. Because there was one that
But
used
no,
to
they're
play
not-
when
they're
I was
not from
at ASU in the 90s, and there was one that used to play on the place that was down on the end at the top. I have to think of that name.
We're getting nostalgic up in here.
Yeah, I know.
All those
I'm
catchy-
there.
all those
90s,
catchy
that was
songs.
me. All right. Well, you can find all the information out about the scene with the extras on SonoraLiving.com, and make sure you support local as well as they pursue this dream.